episode of
Breaking Down the Deck!
We're so excited to be doing this more regularly now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but today I have a special deck that I really like to play, which you are about to see in an upcoming episode.
It's birds!
It's birds!
I'm sorry, I had to take the thunder from you, but I'm so sorry, but I have seen your bird deck. It's so crazy, it's so loco. I don't have to say it. It's Kastral, right?
Yeah, and the bird is Kastral. It's the Windcrested. It's a bird scout for 5 mana, 3 colors, and 1 white and blue. And it has flying. And it has some choices here, which are very interesting. So whenever one or more birds you control deal combat damage to a player, I choose one. I may put a bird creature card from my hand or graveyard onto the battlefield with the finality counter on it. So just, or I can put a +1/+1 counter on each bird I control. Or I can draw a card.
So that's really crazy because I feel like this card was made for Commander.
Yeah, because it's 3 options. I have to deal damage to 3 players to get the 3 triggers.
But it happened really easy because all birds don't, say with me people, have flying. So you really...
They usually have flying.
Usually. But you really get the damage easy through.
Yes.
And you get all the triggers. You can choose all the triggers.
And also, you can do some politicking. You can just throw, that 1/1 bird, that's just a 1/1, at maybe the player who's a bit behind. You're like, I will try to find an answer to whatever's going on here. They can be like, okay, sure, you can. Yeah. So I love the options, and I've tried to put in as many birds to optimize me getting those triggers and some other fun cards. So, let's check it out.
Let's check it out. Yeah, it's time.
Yes, so Kastral, the mighty bird. So once again, Kastral costs 5, 3 mana, whatever color, and 1 white and 1 blue. So Kastral is a bird scout, flying. Whenever one or more birds you control deal combat damage to a player, choose 1. You may put a bird creature card from your hand or graveyard onto the battlefield with a finality counter on it. Put a +1/+1 counter on each bird you control and draw a card. I just love this. So many options, depending on which situations you're in. You can choose what's fitting, and I just love this. And of course, you want to optimize by hitting as many players as you can in one turn to get as many triggers as you can. But Kastral is not the only bird in this deck, so we need to check out which birds I do have. Okay, so we have a Suntail Hawk, just for 1 white. It has flying. Yeah. Birds usually fly, so it's good to have a lot of flyers. Then we have the Artificer's Assistant for 1 blue. Flying, but whenever I cast a historic spell, I scry 1. So artifacts, legendaries, and sagas are historic. So that is amazing. I can just scry and see what's going on with my deck. Then we have the Judge's Familiar. Flying, I can sacrifice Judge's Familiar and counter target instant or sorcery spell unless its controller pays 1. So it's always good to have a little threat here. Like, I can counter your things. Looks like you don't have 1 mana to pay for it. You want to do that? And then we have the Rustwing Falcon for 1 white. Also a flyer. Then we have the Silver Raven for 1 blue, flying. When it enters the battlefield, I scry 1. And then we have the last of my 1-drop birds, the Harrier Strix, 1 blue, flying. And when Harrier Strix enters the battlefield, I tap target permanent. For 2 colors and 1 blue, I can draw a card and then discard a card. Okay, now we have some 2-drops. The first one is Thrumming Bird. For 1 mana of any color and 1 blue, flying. But whenever it deals combat damage to a player, I proliferate. So of course I have Thrumming Bird in my other decks, which cares about proliferating, like Infect or Toxic. Then we have the Soul Catcher for 1 mana of any color and 1 white, flying. Whenever a creature with flying dies, put a +1/+1 counter on Soul Catcher. So Soul Catcher can grow pretty big. It has done in games I've been a part of. Then we have one of my favorite birds, actually. It's the Plumcreed Escort for 1 mana of any color and 1 blue. It has flash and flying, and whenever it enters the battlefield, target creature control gains hexproof until end of turn. So it gives me that extra protection I need for maybe Kastral or any of my other birds, and I can just flash it in, and it's so good. And then we have the Cartographer's Hawk for 1 mana of any color and 1 white, flying. When it deals combat damage to a player who controls more lands than you, return it to its owner's hand. If you do, you may search your library for a plains card, put it onto a battlefield tap, then shuffle. So just a good way to get some more mana. Then we have the Watcher of the Spheres for 1 white and 1 blue, flying. Creature spells with flying you cast cost 1 colorless less to cast. Whenever another creature with flying enters the battlefield under your control, Watcher of the Spheres gets +1/+1 until end of turn. So my birds can get even cheaper with this one, which is amazing. Okay, now for my 3 drops. This is the Aven Mind Sensor for 2 mana of any color and 1 white. It has flash and flying, but if an opponent would search a library, that player searches the top 4 cards of that library instead. So you flash this in right before someone is going to search something. They're like, yeah, going to search, and you're like, I have a response. You flash this in, and they can only search the top 4 cards of their library. So it is a bit mean, but also funny. And then we have the Empyrean Eagle for 1 mana of any color, 1 white and 1 blue, flying. Other creatures in control with flying get +1/+1, a good buffer. Then we have the Plumcreed Mentor, 1 mana of any color, 1 white and 1 blue, flying. Whenever Plumcreed Mentor or another creature controlled with flying enters, I put +1/+1 counter on target creature control without flying. I mean, in this deck, there's not a lot of creatures that do not fly, but there are a few. Vega the Watcher for 1 mana of any color, 1 white and 1 blue, flying. Whenever you cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand, draw a card. Yeah. Like casting my commander, for example. Casting birds from my graveyard sometimes. And then we have Kangi Lieutenant. So 2 mana of any color and 1 white, flying. Whenever this creature attacks, attacking creature with flying get +1/+1 until end of turn. Yes, it's a good way to buff up all my attacking creatures. Then we have the Nimble Obstructionist for 2 mana of any color and 1 blue. It has flash, flying. It also has cycling. So cycling for 2 mana of any color and 1 blue. I can discard this card and draw a card. But here's the important thing. When you cycle Nimble Obstructionist, counter target activated or triggered ability you don't control, so I can use it as a stifle, and that is amazing. I'm always in need of more stifle effect cards. And then we have the Warden of Eva's Isle for 2 mana of any color and 1 blue, flying. Creature spells with flying you cast cost 1 colorless less to cast. Okay, now we have some 4 drops. So these birds are a little bit more expensive. The Klinquan Sky Mage for 3 mana of any color and 1 blue, flying. Whenever I draw a card, I put a +1 counter on this creature. Then we have the Sawtooth Loon for 2 mana of any color, 1 white, 1 blue, flying. When this enters the battlefield, I return a white or blue creature you control to its owner's hand. And when this enters the battlefield, I draw 2 cards, then put 2 cards from my hand on the bottom of my library. Then we have Kangi Airy Keeper for 2 mana of any color, 1 white and 1 blue. It has Kicker for 2x, flying. When Kangi comes into play. If I pay the kicker cost, I put X feather counters on it. All birds get +1/+1 for each feather counter on Kangi. So all my birds can get super strong. It's crazy. Then we have Curiosity Crafter. For 3 mana of any color and 1 blue, flying. I have no maximum hand size because I might get to draw a lot of cards in this deck. So it's important, and whenever a creature token you control deals combat damage to a player, I draw a card. Then we have Arcanist's Owl. 4 white or 4 blue, or you can mix them however you want. Flying. When this enters the battlefield, I look at the top 4 cards of my library. I may reveal an artifact or enchantment card from among them, put it into my hand, and then I put the rest on the bottom of my library in a random order. Okay, now we come to the 5 drops. Then we have the Pilated Provisioner for 4 mana of any color and 1 white, flying. When this enters, I put a +1 counter on target creature I control without flying. Then we have another Kangi, the Sky Warden. It's 3 mana of any color, 1 white and 1 blue, flying Vigilance. Whenever this Kangi attacks, attacking creature with flying get +2/+0 until end of turn. And whenever Kangi blocks, blocking creatures with flying get +0/+2 until end of turn. Pretty good. Then we have the Landroval Horizon Witness. 4 mana of any color and 1 white. And flying. Whenever 2 or more creatures you control attack a player, target attacking creature without flying gains flying until end of turn. So in this deck, everything flies. Wingmate Rock. For 3 mana of any color and 2 white, flying. It has Raid. When Wingmate Rock enters the battlefield, if you attacked with a creature this turn, put a 3/4 white bird creature token with flying onto the battlefield. Whenever Wingmate Rock attacks, I gain 1 life for each attacking creature, so also some life gain. Then we have the Steel Plume Marshal. For 3 mana of any color and 2 white, flying. Whenever Steel Plume Marshal attacks, other attacking creatures you control with flying get +2/+2 until end of turn. So my flyers can get really big. Coveted Peacock. For 3 mana of any color and 2 blue, flying. Whenever this peacock attacks, I may goad target creature defending player controls. So yeah, goading is always good. Unless we are only 2 people left. Then we have the Avon Gaggle Master. For 3 mana of any color and 2 white, flying. When Avon Gaggle Master enters the battlefield, I gain 2 life for each creature controlled with flying. So that is pretty good. Then we have the Night Fisher. Not in night like when it's dark outside, but in night, as you know, knight in shining armor. For 3 mana of any color and 2 blue, flying. Whenever another non-token bird you control enters, I create a 1/1 blue fish creature token. I love those fish tokens, they're fun. Okay, now for my 6 drops. Whew. Here we have Vahir, the Windlord. For 4 mana of any color and 1 white and blue. And this spell costs 2 colors less to cast as long as you've drawn 2 or more cards this turn. It has flying, vigilance, and other birds you control have vigilance. But we can of course cheat this in with Kastral. Then we have Crookclaw Elder. For 5 mana of any color and 1 blue, flying. Tap 2 untapped birds you control. Draw a card. Tap 2 untapped wizards you control. Target creature against flying until end of turn. And for my final one, which is determined by how much mana I can pay, it is the Mockingbird. So for X and a blue, flying. I may have Mockingbird enter as a copy of any creature on the battlefield with mana value less than or equal to the amount of mana spent to cast Mockingbird, except it's a bird in addition to its other types and it has flying. Okay, so those were my birdie birds. Now look at some creatures that aren't birdie birds. Okay, first we have the Malcolm Alluring Scoundrel. For 1 mana of any color and 1 blue. It has flash, it's a siren pirate. Flying. Whenever Malcolm deals combat damage to a player, put a chorus counter on it. Draw a card, then discard a card. If there are 4 or more chorus counters on Malcolm, you may cast the discarded card without paying its mana cost. I love this card. So powerful. Then we have Children of Corlys. For just 1 white, I can sacrifice this and I gain life equal to the life you've lost this turn. So just a good way to gain back some life I've lost. Then we have the Selfless Spirit for 1 mana of any color and 1 white, flying. I can sacrifice this creature and creatures you control gain indestructible until end of turn. So if someone does a board wipe where they destroy all creatures, I can make them indestructible. Then we have Vryn Wingmare for 2 mana of any color and 1 white, flying. Non-creature spells cost 1 more to cast. So this is just, yeah, you know, a bit of a nightmare for everyone, I guess. And then we have the Thunderclap Wyvern for 2 mana of any color and 1 white and blue. It has flash, flying, and other creatures you control with flying get +1/+1. Good to just flash this in at an end step or anything. And then we have some enchantments. We have Detained by Legendaries for 1 mana of any color and 1 white. Enchant creature. Enchanted creature can't attack or block. Then we have the Soulcatcher's Eyrie for 1 mana of any color and 1 white. Whenever a bird is put into your graveyard from play, put a feather counter on Soulcatcher's Eyrie. All birds gets +1/+1 for each feather counter on Soulcatcher's Eyrie. And then we have the Psychic Impetus for 2 mana of any color and 1 blue, enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2 and is goaded. And whenever enchanted creature attacks, I scry 2. And then we have the best one, Murmuration. 4 mana of any color and 1 white. Birds you control get +1/+1 and have vigilance. And at the beginning of my end step, for each spell I've cast this turn, I create a 1/2 blue bird creature token with flying named Stormcrow. This is so cool. Let me see if I have the little token. Yeah. So here is a regular Stormcrow token. And then we have a special one. Yeah, look at this. So shiny and amazing. So you want to make a lot of Stormcrows for sure. Okay, and then, you know, we have some sorceries, of course. We have the Enter the Enigma. Target creature can't be blocked this turn. I draw a card for just 1 blue mana. Then we have the Silent Departure. For 1 blue mana, I can return target creature to its owner's hand. It has flashback. Then we have Dewdrop Cure. I can gift a card for 2 mana and 1 white. Return up to 2 target creature cards each with mana value 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. If the gift was promised, instead return up to 3 target creature cards each with mana value 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Just a good way to get some stuff back. Then we have the Airborne Aid. I love this one. 3 mana of any color and 1 blue. I can draw a card for each bird in play. So much value. Then we have the Distant Melody. For 3 mana of any color and 1 blue, I can choose a creature type. I draw a card for each permanent I control of that type. So I can draw so many cards. Love it. And then we have the Portent of Calamity. For X and 1 blue, reveal the top X cards of your library. For each card type, I may exile a card of that type from among them. Put the rest into my graveyard. I may cast a spell from among the exiled cards without paying its mana cost. If you exiled 4 or more cards this way, then put the rest of the exiled cards into your hand. Love that. And then, of course, we have some instants. We need to protect ourselves and do things, of course. So, I have the Azorius Charm for 1 white and 1 blue. I can choose one. Creatures I control gain lifelink until end of turn, or draw a card, or Put target attacking or blocking creature on top of its owner's library. Then we have the Disdainful Stroke for 1 mana, 1 color, and 1 blue. I can counter target spell with mana value 4 or greater. Ooh, then we have one of my favorites, Flusterstorm. 1 blue mana. Counter target instant or sorcery spell unless its controller pays 1, but it has Storm. So it all depends on how many spells has been cast the turn you're casting Flusterstorm. And look at this gorgeous. Yes. Then we have Crumb and Get It. Gift of Food for 1 white. Target creature control gets +2/+2 until end of turn. If the gift was promised, that creature also gains indestructible until end of turn. We want to protect Kastral with everything we got, of course. Then we have Bone to Ash for 2 mana, 1 color, and 2 blue. Counter target creature spell and draw a card. Then we have Luminous Rebuke for 4 mana, 1 color, and 1 white. This spell costs 3. Colorless, less to cast if it targets a tapped creature, like if someone is attacking you. Destroy target creature. Then we have Refute, and look, it's a little birdie bird. Yeah. Refute for 1 mana, 1 color, and 2 blue. Counter target spell, draw a card, then discard a card. Then we have Thraben Charm for 1 mana, 1 color, and 1 white. Choose 1. This card deals damage equal to twice the number of creatures you control to target creature, or destroy target enchantment, or exile any number of target players' graveyards. And for 1 blue mana, Shore Up, one of my favorite cards. Target creature control gets +1/+1 and gains hexproof until end of turn. Untap it. So if I attacked with Kastral, I can untap it and give it hexproof and use it as a blocker if it's bigger than something. Yeah. Then we have the Valerius Stance for 1 mana, 1 color, and 1 white. Choose 1. Target creature gains indestructible until end of turn, or destroy target creature with toughness 4 or greater. Then we have Destroy Evil, because we're the good guys. We're here to destroy, evil, of course. So 1 mana of any color and 1 white. I can choose 1. Destroy target creature with toughness 4 or greater, or destroy target enchantment. Because, sometimes it's hard to get rid of all those enchantments. So good to have some options. Then we have Unwanted Remake for just 1 white mana. Destroy target creature. Its controller manifests Dread. Then we have the Parting Gust for 2 white. Gift a tapped fish. Exile target non-token creature. If the gift wasn't promised, return the creature to the battlefield under its owner's control with a +1/+1 counter on it at the beginning of the next end step. Then we have one of my favorite counters, actually, in this deck. The Dazzling Denial, because it's 1 mana, 1 color, and 1 blue. Counter target spell unless its controller pays 2. But if you control a bird, which I might do, counter that spell unless its controller pays 4 instead. So it will be just a little bit harder to pay. Then we have Repel Calamity for 1 mana, 1 color, and 1 white. Destroy target creature with power toughness 4 or greater. And then for my last instant, it's Geistlight Snare for 2 mana, 1 color, and 1 blue. This spell costs 1 color less to cast if you control a spirit. It also costs 1 color less to cast if you control an enchantment. Counter target spell unless its controller pays 3. So maybe if I'm lucky, I can just cast this for 1 blue. And then, of course, we have some ramp, we have some mana, we have to get through it. Here we have Arcane Signet. Add 1 mana, 1 color identity for 2 mana, 1 color. And of course, we have the Soul Ring for 1. And you can add 2 colors. Then we have a Marble Diamond for 2. It enters tapped. I can add a white. Then we have Lonely Arroyo. It enters the battlefield tapped. When it enters, it deals 1 damage to target opponent. It can add a white or a blue. Uncharted Heaven enters tapped. As it enters, I choose a color, and I add 1 mana of the chosen color. Flood Farm Verge can add a white. I can add a blue only if I control a plains or an island. Abandoned Campground. It enters tapped unless a player has 13 or less life. I can add a white or a blue. Sejiri Refuge. It enters tapped, but when it enters, I gain a life. I can add a white or a blue. Azorius Chancery. It enters the battlefield tapped, and when it enters the battlefield, I return a land I control to its owner's hand. And it gives me both a white and a blue. Azorius Guildgate. It enters tapped. It gives me 1 white or a blue. And then we have all these planes. 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And of course we need some islands as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yes. Okay. So that was my Kastral deck. Let me know what you think about a deck. How have you built Kastral, or are you using Kastral in any other decks where this bird isn't a commander? So let me know, and yeah, let's get back to Andres and me. Yay, go birds!
Wow! Also, okay. First one, I love the tribal synergy, and I did not know it's like so many like specific costs just for birds, like the counter.
Yeah, I love that counter spell, which is so specific. Like if you control a bird in play, you just have to pay for it.
Exactly, and not only that, we have also like the draw power. Yes, if you count for every bird you have, like what?
And not only on one card, on like several cards.
Exactly.
Like, wow.
I mean, I'm like, what the fuck is happening here?
Admit it, you're just jealous of the card draw.
Yeah, I am. You know what? I am. I'm a bro, man. They made. I'm jealous of the card draw, but one of the strangest card I ever seen in my life. You have to be like the neighbor obsessionist.
Yes. Oh, the stifle.
The stifle bird, because when it ETB or when you cycle it, you get the stifle effect. It's so crazy. Not only that, you get like a 3/1 body on the battlefield, or whenever you cycle it, you get the God Avengers as well. It's so good.
Yeah, it's a very surprising card.
Yeah.
But I love it because as I said, I'm always in search for more stifle effect cards. Like this one, which I can just flash in, and whenever I find one, I'm like, okay, this has got to go in because I know what's coming.
Oh, yeah, it's half flash as well. Oh,
yes,
my.
It's
This
so
bird
good.
does everything. Can it do the cooking?
Yes.
Oh my god.
It says.
Oh my god.
It says flash, flying, cooking. Wow.
That's crazy. That's crazy. No, but for real, that bird is so insane. I'm really surprised a lot of people don't see it more in action, more in in the commander table, because I think, like you said, we need more cipher effects in nowadays game, because so much powerful commanders, they have so much triggers. It's commander cannot do one thing; they can do like several things. It's this cipher effect like shut down so much of the power moves.
Exactly, and if you want us to do like a special video of like not cards that not a lot of people might know about or play, like the stifle cards and other cards like that, let us know. We can do, like, a special video about that.
Exactly.
And try to find some fun cards to show you and give you ideas about how to stop players.
When you look at me like that, why would you look at me like that?
I don't know. Something maybe about our upcoming episode. We'll see.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But yeah, I'm always having fun playing Kastral. And yeah, it's a fun deck.
It's a super fun deck. It's really fun because, like I said, I love tribal. I love the tribal synergy. I myself playing elves. I try to play insect deck soon. I love like the tribal synergy. I have goblins.
I like it too. Yeah.
It's not only that. It's like nowadays the tribal becomes stronger and stronger. Like the birds here now. When I started playing Magic, bird tribal was like more like a joke deck, something like that.
Really?
Yeah, because it was not the powerful birds there. But now they look at Kastral. He's like pushing the limits. So powerful.
Yeah, and it's also fun when you're building a tribal deck. Because usually when I build a tribal deck, let's say birds, I just put in every bird I have, and then when you find more bird cards, you swap them out. You're like, okay, I'm gonna put in this bird which is better. And you have a stronger tribal deck, and you will always try to improve.
Not only that, one of the strongest birds I have to say is like the mockingbird.
Oh
is so strong.
Because it can be any
Anything.
creature, and it is a bird in addition
Also
to
that.
other
So you don't
types.
lose, you get like a copy. Not only that, you don't lose the bird creature type. It's so crazy strong.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So, go birds.
Go birds.
But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and you have to watch our upcoming Azorius Guild War.
Yeah, you have to see that.
Yes, it's I think the number 4 in our Guild Wars this year.
I think so.
So you definitely have to watch it and see how Kastral performed.
Birds. Go birds.
Bye.
Bye.